All right, so now, again, I just made up problems. They're very similar to what's on your review sheet, but I made up different ones so that you can practice the ones on the review sheet. This is, I think, if I recall correctly, question 25, where you're given the equation and we have to find all this information. Okay, so the first thing they're asking me to find is the vertex. That comes out of your parentheses. Make sure that you have these accurate. The x-coordinate is out over here, that's at 5. And then my y-coordinate is -4. Okay, so now to find the focus, if you look at this, you always take this number in front, -12, and divide by 4. So that tells me that the value of P is -3. This is what's telling me to move. So if you look at your, if you want to sketch a graph, it gives you a nice visual. My vertex is at 5, -4. So that's where I am right here. So now, this is saying that the value of P is -3, and it's telling me that I have to move along the x-axis. So along the x-axis, I'm going to move -3. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, you're moving from the vertex. So I'm moving 3 to the left, and this is my vertex. That is my focus. So do what P tells you. That gets you from your vertex to your focus. So my focus is at 2, -4. Okay, you'll notice P is -3, so I took my x-coordinate because it's my x, and I subtracted the 3. Now to get to the directrix, if you start at the vertex, you're going to do the opposite. So I'm going to go 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, and that's where my directrix is. So that's going to be x equals 8, because I'm taking the x-coordinate from my vertex, and now I'm adding 3, and that's where my directrix comes in. Okay, so the value of P is key. P is equal to its vertex to focus. Negate P, and that's vertex to directrix. That's where you're going to move. Okay, now you have questions on your review sheet where you have to write the equation of the parabola if you're given the focus and directrix. I like a sketch because it helps me visualize everything. My focus is at 6, -1. So I'm over here at 6, and then I'm going to call this -1. So that right there, that is my focus. The directrix is at x equals -2. So -2 on the x-axis, here it is. That right away tells me, because my directrix is up and down, I have to have a sideways parabola, because remember, you can never touch your directrix. So when I write my equation, I know that it's going to be something squared equals something, it's going to look like this, and I'm going to fill in as I go. Because it's a sideways parabola, then I know that it's y squared, so that I know. The vertex goes in my parentheses, and the vertex is in between these two values, the focus and directrix. So I need to go in between. Well, the distance here from the directrix to the focus is a distance of 8. So in the middle, you would be, there's your vertex, and that would be, let's see here, you're going to be 4 away from each one. So that's going to be 2, and then I'm at -1. So my vertex is 2, -1. It's in between, it's in the middle. So now, and again, just be careful of your parentheses, the y-coordinate, that's going to be +1, and then -2. So now what I want to look at is the value of P. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. That's a distance of +4 because I moved 4 to the right. So you are going to take that value and multiply by 4, and that's where 16 comes from. So I always, to get from the value of P to my equation, you multiply by 4, always. And that's the equation that you have.